Hey, what's up everyone? It's Rinku, and today I found even more secret and or hidden Awakened Dark Knight combos. Now, in the last video, I went over infinite casting and how to combine your flow abilities. However, the only practical thing shown in that video was that you can double cast Spirit Legacy in case all your other awakening skills that do damage were on cooldown, just to finish up some monsters without switching into your unawakening form for what I used to be doing, which was spamming Wheel of Fortune. However, today I'm actually going to show you something that may just be useful. I would also like to point out that I'm not going to be showing you specific combos in this video at all. I'm actually going to be going over the mechanics of the flow abilities themselves and how you can combine both of these flows to do combos without wasting both of their cooldowns. So Rinku, what does this mean? Well, I actually don't know if anyone has ever discovered this, but I have never even heard of people combining flows in the first place. So in my last video, I pretty much deemed combining the flows completely useless because it required you to use both the cooldowns and lock yourself into 4 attacks. That's where I was wrong, and it all changed with this video. So after we discovered that you can combine your flow abilities in 5 different combos, and after I made my last video, Misty posted this in Discord. Just watch. Yes, he used all 4 attacks while using Twilight Dash in between, and he even shows you that you can change direction mid-flow, mid-combo, and it just all works. It's just amazing. So after watching that video, I asked myself, what's stopping you from using any skill in between these combos? How did he do it? And then I looked at the skill descriptions. So looking at Flow Bombardment, it says after using Shattering Darkness, hold left click, and it says hold in this whole line. I'm assuming it means hold shift left click as well, and hold right click to either launch forwards or backwards respectively. But then it starts a new line and it says after Seed of Catastrophe and Flow Root of Catastrophe, shift left click to launch to the back. It does not say hold shift left click. And this is where I started learning things, as well as this. It says the same thing. On the bottom line it says after Flow Bombardment, shift E to launch to back. But it doesn't say hold it. It's not saying that you have to use it right after the combo. And this is where I learned I could do this. So for example, I can cast Shattering Darkness. I can do whatever I want, any combo, any skill at all. I can use Seed and Seed Flow and then Shattering Darkness Flow. Basically, I don't even need to use both of these cooldowns at the same time. You can split it up and put anything in between because both of the flows will pretty much activate after both of these. The only exception is you cannot cast Flow Root of Catastrophe, the flow for Seed, after using Shattering Darkness. You can only use it after the Flow of Bombardment or after Seeds itself. So that what that means is if I use Seed and it's on cooldown, I cannot do Shattering Darkness and Flow Seed. Flow Seed just does not activate after that, so that is something you should keep note, but pretty much every other combination does work. Now, it's pretty crazy that you can split the cooldowns of these up and still use both of the flows, but I also want to explain that if you do use one of the cooldowns, and then if you wanted to use all 3, so shift left, and then shift E, that all 4 of these abilities have their own cooldowns, so even when this comes off of cooldown, the flow will still be on cooldown because you use the flow way after you use the original ability. So this is mostly going to be used if you want to use the same combination over and over, using the first one first and using the same 3 abilities afterwards, so that way the cooldowns are all in sync. But I also want to point out some things in the skill description again. So looking back at the skills, I want to look at the cooldowns for each skill. So Flow Bombardment and Flow Root of Catastrophe are just one ability. There's no level progress like these other skills. Once you get it, you have it, and they each have their own cooldowns. So Flow Bombardment has 7 seconds, which is actually the same as Shattering Darkness at max level, and also Root of Catastrophe has 11 seconds. However, it's actually not the same as Seed of Catastrophe at max level. So if you actually hit level 62, Seed of Catastrophe is actually 2 seconds faster than Root of Catastrophe. Even if you're only level 60, it's still 1 second faster. So once you hit level 60, you actually can't spam Seed of Catastrophe and the flow right after each other off cooldown, because if you try to use this and the flow and then you wait 10 seconds and you try to use this again, this is still going to have a 1 second cooldown and you're actually going to fail. I've never even run into this problem because I'm 59, but apparently Misty has because he's 60. So very interesting stuff, but it even goes more in depth with this video. Just like they have their own cooldowns, the flow abilities actually have their own descriptions, and they're way different than the original descriptions of the original skills. They have their own abilities. So, for example, Shattering Darkness gives you EP on hit, but the flow for Shattering Darkness most likely costs more EP than you would have gained from the original Shattering Darkness. Now, it doesn't stop there, that's probably for PvE. However, one major thing is that Seed of Catastrophe has floating on good hit, whereas the flow is a down attack. And also, with the cooldowns talk that we just had, with the 1 second difference, I feel like once you hit 60, they kinda intend you to use this combo for PvP because of the skill descriptions. So again, I'm not sure how viable it is combining these skills instead of using just the same skills after the same skills, but assuming these were viable, I can see why one of these combos is for PvE and one of these combos are for PvP after what we just discovered with the skill descriptions. So if I was training on monsters and I wanted the EP back, I could just hit them with a Shattering Darkness, and if later I had enough EP to do the rest of my abilities, I could actually just flow into Seed and use the flow of Shattering Darkness. And for PvP, you might want to do the opposite. So because Seed of Catastrophe has a floating, you may just want to use Seed of Catastrophe, see if it hits anything, maybe close the gap, and then go for your full combo. So you can go to flow, and then to Root of Seed. And that will also eliminate the problem of having two different cooldowns, because most likely you'll never run into the fact that Flow of Seed actually has a longer cooldown than the original Seed after level 60. Alright everyone, so thank you so much for watching, I hope I helped you guys, and with that, I will see you guys next time.